You ready to play?
Hello, and welcome to the Storm Talk for D.Va, the mecha pilot. So, in-game, D.Va is an interesting character. Her passive is that, while in mech mode, when D.Va dies, she's ejected out of her mech. She also only counts for 50% of a hero kill. Let's go ahead and talk with cooldowns so we can pop her out. In pilot mode, basic attacks reduce the cooldown for call down mech by half a second. And again, as a pilot, you're only half of a kill. So you have to kill her twice in order to get one kill. Call down mech has a 45-second cooldown. However, it is instant after using exploding or the self-destruct. She does have two locked abilities, one at 16 and one at 20. I'll get into these when we get there, but I'm not a personal fan of either of them. Or I'm not a fan of either of them personally.
Moving out.
So, as you might have saw or seen, D.Va is an attack while moving. While attacking, her movement speed is reduced by 15%. Well, I mean, her movement speed is reduced by 15% all the time. But while attacking, she just auto-attacks. And she has a bunch of small auto-attacks. Let's go ahead and pop back out the cooldown to show off the pilot attack. The pilot has the same attack speed, but does almost double damage. Actually, I think it's more than double damage at this low level, but the pilot cannot move and shoot. The pilot also has access to a mount, where the mech does not. The abilities for the Q are a dash. You can only hit a single person once with it, but it hits minions, mercenaries, heroes, the whole bit. So while it's not a very good wave clear, unlike her cannons, which are actually pretty good due to the fact that you can hit most of a wave at one time, since you can only bounce off one, it does kind of seem a little lackluster, but it is also a great movement speed as it jumps her up to 225 speed. Her next ability is Defensive Matrix. While active, she cannot attack, but as you can see, while Defensive Matrix is active, the heroes inside of it take or deal 75% less damage. However, if somebody is inside of it and is dealing you damage, it will still affect your self-destruct. So let's go ahead and toss out self-destruct so we can start looking at that one. So, self-destruct has a timer. As you can see in the bright orange, you gain 1% charge for every 2 seconds spent basic attacking, 30% for an entire mech. So, as you can see, every 2 seconds or so, I'll gain a... And I'm going to go pick a fight with this guy because he hits hard. And you can see every time he hits me, he goes through. And since I'm auto-attacking, I'm gaining a little bit more. So I should end this with about 40%. As you can see. One of the great things about it is... Give me a moment to get that cooldown down. I don't want to hit the toggle cooldowns because I think it will affect the other side. But as you can see, I still have all of my self-destruct charges that I've already built up. So let's go ahead and toggle the cooldown and we'll start talking about self-destruct this time. Simple enough, I've shown it off a couple of times, although I haven't spent time focusing on it. You drop, you charge, you explode. It does a nice little bit of damage, You can use your dash to throw it. And since it does work on mercenaries and minions, you can use it for clearing, although you won't get multiple, so it'll probably just end up being a, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and clear this. Actually, let's go over to these guys again. I'm going to go over here and clear this. So you just start attacking one of them. You try to get as many of them as you can in a single line so you can do the most amount of damage. Maybe dash in, punch them a little bit. The dash can be canceled if you just hit the dash button. But, oh, look, I'm almost dead. So you drop out. Sometimes they'll still attack it. Sometimes they don't. It's a little weird how that works. But even with cooldowns off, you instantly get your mech back if it self-destructs. Well, not instantly. You get 4 seconds, give or take. But yeah, so you can clear out the bruiser camp by yourself pretty easily. Let's go ahead and toggle an enemy hero so I can kind of show what I was talking about. We'll go with Arthas. He doesn't hit too hard, while at the same time being somewhat strong. Oh, yeah, you gotta toggle minions to force him to go. Come on, Arthas.
Ready for action.
Poor guy, he's a coward. Okay, now we toggled him off. He should stay in this area. So, as you can see, if I drop my mech, he starts chasing me. And with the charging of the mech, he's doing less damage, although I'm still gaining full damage from each of his hits from that, from the defense matrix. All in all, you can't reliably expect somebody to attack your mech when you have it in self-destruct compared to yourself, but sometimes it happens and that's a bonus. I think that covers just about everything basic, so let's go ahead and move on to the leveling stats. Now, she does have different stats for her human and mech side. So here's human at or mech at level 1, and here's human at level 1. Since you'll be in mech, you should be in mech most of the time. I'm just going to show you the mech for 10.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
The mech for 20.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
And at level 30, here's the mech. And the human stats for level 30. You can see under her, there is a bar, although she does not have a resource. That is your charge rate. So if I turn off, you can see it's charging. It's going to charge up in the time it takes to explode due to me dropping out. And here, charge again. So let's go off and get myself killed real quick. Actually, this would probably be a faster way to get killed. So, as you can see here, as long as you stay alive, you will get back to your mech eventually. It is a cooldown, though, so it's a little funny that they have that there, but yeah. So let's go ahead and One thing I did forget to mention, over here you have the defense matrix, so it shows you, I believe it shows you how many attacks you've blocked. Let's get somebody who attacks decently well. We'll summon us some Tychus. We're gonna have to get some minions to give them the cur. Oh, wait. Damn it. We wanted the enemy to be Tychus. But still. Turn off the minions and we'll hit them with the defense matrix. So as you can see, that's how much damage I'm reducing. So as you can see, he's about to win that fight, so I can jump out and blow him up. One thing, another thing I forgot to mention. It does fully heal you to drop your mech, and even if you drop your mech and then just jump out again, like both the pilot and the bot do heal from that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start talking about some of the talents. Level 1, you have Rush Down. If D.Va neither takes damage nor deals damage during boost, its cooldown is lowered by 5 seconds. That's half of it. Hit the Nitrous. Initial speed boosters increase is 475 as opposed to 125, though it decays over half a second. During this time, the booster deals 100% extra damage. Crash Course. Damage enemy heroes with booster. After damaging 25 heroes, the booster lowers its cooldown per hero you hit. And Pro Moves. D.Va gains 2% movement speed every 1 second, or for 1 second, every time she takes damage, up to 30%. Okay, so, starting at 1, basically, when using it for movement and not as an attack, you gain, you basically can use it twice as often. You don't have to worry about mana, so cooldown's your only real limitation. Hit the Nitrous. You move faster at first, and you do bonus damage during that first chunk. I like Hit the Nitrous the best personally, because it doesn't have any negatives for using it in combat. In fact, using it in combat early, like to use it to GTFO, actually much better than not using it to GTFO. Also, it just gives you a bit of a speed boost. If you're just using it purely for movement, Rush Down will get you further, because you're using it every 5 seconds, whereas Hit the Nitrous, you're still using it every 10 seconds. So, if we were to put that into works, because as you can see, it doesn't start the cooldown until after. So, 12 seconds of Hit the Nitrous, you could have hit Rush Down twice. And finished it twice, actually. Crash Course. Remember, you can only hit one hero at a time. Or you can only hit a hero a single time per charge. So, boosters lower by 1 second per hero hit. The most you're getting is 5, which basically puts it at about Rush Down. Except you're using it in combat. And it will take so... Like, unless you're in, like, a map where people are charging up constantly, you're never going to get this. Like, it takes so long, because you can't double down and hit the same guy 2 or 3 times. You have to hit one after another, after another, after another, every 10 seconds, and that takes so long. And Pro Moves... Pro Moves, I think, would have been a great skill to put at maybe 4 or 7. Not because 4 or 7 have bad talents, but because of what Pro Moves is. Pro Moves is if you're taking a lot of damage, for example, if like you're against a Tychus or somebody, oh no, they're hitting you, run away. And then this basically gives you mount speed while running. However, at level 1, yeah, no, you're not going to know when that's going to be. Like, you're not going to know whether or not you're going to need to run or to chase at level 1. And, like, you're taking this before the first minion. It gets really... Like, if you're building for an aggressive, my team's going to push hard, go for it. But if you're trying to be adaptive, it's not that good. Like, it would be much better at 4 or 7 after you've had a chance to get to know your enemy and know whether or not you're going to need to push or chase or stand your ground. So I'm going to hit the nitrous because,
No
1, bonus damage, and if you use it, as you saw, like, you can use it against a handful of people to do a ton of damage, and that also includes against
Ready for action.
minions, and also, that's a lot of speed right there. Oh, that's right, there's a hero here. So what I was saying earlier about her not being good at clearing minion waves, like, this changes her to being decent at clearing minion waves. Now, of course, that 800 damage is coming from a level 30 place, but the concept's still there. Like, that is double the damage you were getting, literally for nothing more than you punched him in the face with it. At level 4, we have Diverting Power. Defensive Matrix is 100% wider, but you can no longer move. Get through this. Increase the duration of Defense Matrix by 3 seconds. Fusion Generator. Every time a hero deals damage to you while inside the Defense Matrix, self-destruct charges increase by 1%. However, that goes to a maximum of 15%. And then Bring It On. Self-destruct charge gains... or you gain 30% increased from your health. Remember, you gain 30% in total. So 30% of 30 is roughly 10 extra percent. So Fusion Generator does more than Bring It On all at once. However, Fusion Generator only works when within the defensive matrix.
Now I'll show them.
So you're relying that on a 10-second cooldown as opposed to Bring It On, which is permanent. Personally, I prefer Bring It On. It's a simpler drop and forget talent. Diverting Power, I would almost never take. I'm trying to think of some good instances where it might be useful, and I'm just not. Because it also makes it longer, and one of the worst things about Defensive Matrix is you can't attack during it. So you're basically worthless to your team.
Okay,
And, like, there is a little bit of a, I'm gonna drop it, walk in, and then jump out of my mech, like, use it as a defense. In Overwatch, one of the things you do is you put on your defensive matrix, run in, drop your bomb while you're blocking all those shots, and then run away. But that's not quite how Heroes works, so again, Bring It On is probably the best option in my opinion. Coming through, knockback distance of boosters is increased by 100%. Dazer Zone, heroes within the defensive matrix are slowed by 20%. Aggression Matrix, basic attacks in mech mode against heroes lowers the cooldown of defensive matrix by a quarter of a second, and the nuclear option. I want to like the nuclear option, I really do, because I like the explosion, it's cool. But, I mean, increase the damage by 50%, but gives everybody and their mother a chance to get out. Like, Abathur could dance the worm out of it in 5 seconds. So, I mean, 4 seconds plus 3 seconds, yeah. If you're using it as a bomb to take out towers and the like, then yeah, sure, go for it. But anything short of using it for artillery purposes, no, it's worthless. Because if you're using it in a fight, anybody and their mother could get out. Aggression Matrix, my main problem with Aggression Matrix is Diverting Power, or is one of the same with the Diverting Power. The idea of of being in defense matrix means you're not attacking. And while there are times where you want that, usually that's not the case. So coming through for me is probably the best choice.
Choose a talent.
At level 10, we're going to take Big Shot
Choose
first.
a talent.
Big Shot's pretty simple. I didn't mean to actually I did not actually mean to press E, but it's probably a good thing I did. Okay, so as you can see, Big Shot can only be used in pilot mode, and you shoot a blast on the line. Every time you hit an enemy hero, it lowers their by 8 seconds. And if you're attacking while doing it, remember every attack is half a second, and you're getting 2 attacks, or you're getting 2 seconds in this, 2 seconds every second. So basically, Big Shots doesn't do a lot for your cooldown, although it does a ton of damage. As you can see here, let's go ahead and reset the chaos bot for a second. Reset the damage numbers. They need to have a reset for that.
Target locked.
So it's going to drop a little bit, but as you can see, it's kind of stabilizing at about 700. And once we start throwing out the Pulse Blast, we drop it every couple of seconds. It slightly raises the damage per second, but not by much. So it's a nice big hit that doesn't disrupt you too much. But one of the things I personally like about it is because it's AoE, you can actually use it for clearing pretty well. And it gives you an option for attacking at long range as your pilot. Because if there are people who are over there, I don't want to go there as a pilot, but I can tag. And if you hit multiple people, 8 seconds 2 or 3 times, that's a long way on a 45-second cooldown. Next, we have level 13 talents. Expensive Plating increases your mech's health by 20 seconds, but also increases the cooldown of Call Mech by 15 seconds. This doesn't decrease the amount you gain from taking damage, which actually means that your 30% is increased by 20%, so what's that, 6? I think that's 6. So that'd be 36% right there, as opposed to 30. Emergency Shielding. Whenever D.Va takes damage that would kill her, instead you gain a shield that lasts for 6 seconds. The effect has a 15-second cooldown. I like this one. It basically just gives you a chance to blow up your mech. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Armor. Damage against D.Va that would do less than 5% of her health is reduced by 50%. Basically, minion attacks. Like, it doesn't say it outright. Minion attacks are reduced by 50%, and other D.Vas. This damage does not decrease the amount of self-destruct charge gain, so it's basically kind of like the damage reduction from your defensive matrix. Again, I like the shield plating because let's say we're over here in a fight. Beat them up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and toggle cooldowns real quick just so I don't have to worry about actually, and apparently no, we're not. Was gonna toggle the cooldowns and I accidentally toggled minions. Okay.
Game on.
Let's go down here. This guy hits better, and I'm not so much an idiot around him. So, let's go ahead and get hit by that. Doesn't really matter. So as I was saying, whenever you would take damage that would kill you, you instead get a shield, which basically translates as a, when this happens, you know to hit your E.
Now I'll show them.
At level 16, we get Torpedo Dash, which is a hero ability. GG, well played. Increase pilot's basic attack damage by 75%. And killing an enemy hero will instantly refresh Call Down Mech. Nano Weave Suit. For 4 seconds after ejecting, you gain 50 armor, and her basic attacks grant 50% more cooldown reduction towards Call Down Mech. And Suppressing Fire. Pilot mode's basic attacks increase by 20%, and slow enemies. So basically, if you're getting a lot of kills and you want to do the most damage, GG, well played. You do 75% more damage, and you also already do more damage when in pilot mode. So you do 75% more than 175. So like that's a pretty decent amount right there. Nano Weave Suit. If you're getting picked off a lot, if people are breaking down your mech and dropping your ass, go with the Nano Weave Suit, because it gives you 50% auto attack reduction for 4 seconds. Suppressing Fire. Pretty much if you're... Like, this is probably the go-to generally. 20% increased range and a slow allows you to kind of pick off most heroes. Because you move at normal speed when you're in pilot mode.
Ready for action.
So being able to shoot, 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 step off, shoot, 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 step off, shoot, shoot, shoot is nice because you can kind of kite people. Torpedo Dash, we're going to go ahead and show this one, is just a roll. 12-second cooldown, and you roll. It's pretty simple, and it's not affected by cooldown reduction here because it's not her skill. It's weird. But you can't scroll, or can't go over walls, but you can go through people. And at level 20, we have Pew Pew Pew. Instead of a single shot, Big Shot fires 3 shots that do 50% damage each. Basically, if you hit with all 3 shots, you do 150% damage, so it's a 50% boost. And, if I'm not mistaken, it also 3 charges of the cooldown. Then we have Concussive Pulse. D.Va gains Concussive Pulse ability, which allows her to knock people back. This basically makes her Lucio. And Mech Fall. Mecha Fall calls a mech that call mech is instant, and lands on a location and deals damage. I'm going to show you Concussive Pulse here. So as you can see, it also does not gain cooldown reduction. Let's reset those talents and just kind of
Choose a talent.
walk through them.
Choose a talent.
For Mecha Fall, when you call down a mech, you can target a location. You drop in, you do damage, you get out. I mean, it's pretty basic. And I think I took the plus 20% range, so... As you can see, 6-7 range here. We'll reset the talents again. Now it's 5-5.
Choose a talent. Choose a talent.
And we'll go ahead
Choose a
and
talent.
drop that.
Choose a talent.
Okay with me.
Choose a talent.
So,
See them stop me.
pew pew pew. As you can see, lots and lots of cooldowns right there. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So, really doesn't matter what we take here. Again, now we're going to take Bunny Hop. So, Bunny Hop, you basically just Mario fools. You jump up and down, causes damage, and slows them.
Choose a talent.
At level 20, Bunny Hop, Stop, and Pop.
Ready for action.
So, basically, when you're standing still, you do bonus damage. Straightforward, simple.
Choose a talent.
Okay, so just double check, make sure we got all the talents that seem like
Choose a talent.
they might need some
Choose a talent.
explanation.
Choose a talent.
Expensive plating, pretty self-explanatory.
Choose a
A
talent.
blade of armor, we'll go ahead and show that one off.
Choose a talent.
So basically, as I was saying, with minion attacks, as you can see, they do so little damage. And yeah, I believe that's pretty much everything.
Upgrade complete.
So yeah, let's go ahead and call it. I hope this clears up any questions you might have about D.Va, and if you have any suggestions for builds or combos in the or for D.Va, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below, and have fun.